Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hand. And today, being the 5th of July, we're no longer celebrating Independence Day, so we can get back to some good old Britishness in British ships with just tea and crumpets. And today, we're showcasing a battle I had just a few days ago. I was trying to do some comparisons between premium ships and tech tree ships, and of course the Azure Lane Queen Elizabeth was a fairly obvious choice. And thanks, Joe, for your singing in the background there. I believe I do actually turn around and mute Joe very shortly, but it's a nice addition. Nice to hear people actually talking game, even if they are singing to themselves. So yeah, here we are in the Azure Lane Queen Elizabeth, and this is gonna be a fairly epic battle, as you'll see by the end screen. And thanks for that, Joe. That was spectacular. That was something else. And eventually I'm gonna wake up. I'm not entirely sure what had me distracted at the very start of this battle, but something did. But that's alright. We only missed 45 seconds of the start. It happens. It happens to everyone. We see a New Mexico broadside. So obviously, he's broadside. There is a cruiser there that we could have potentially shot at, and also another battleship. But he looked like the juiciest of targets. And Joe, man, come on, 6k for the first salvo, which wasn't. It's not too bad. That could have been 100% better. I think Joe might be suffering with a bit of cold by the sounds of it. Königsberg comes out broadside. We take a bit of time lining up our shots. I was expecting him to make a turn of some sort, but obviously he didn't. And there we go. That was slightly better. That was a 10k salvo. Probably should have been a death strike, but unfortunately we missed that opportunity. Is Joe in the Nevada between the coughing and sneezing and snorting? Is Joe going to finish off the Königsberg? I'm assuming he is. So I'm looking at I'm looking at this Iron Duke that I have shots at over the island. And
yeah, both of them is.
Come on, Joe, finish him off. Come on, you're in Nevada. For God's sake, Joe, what are you doing? You missed. Right, it's okay. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can get rid of that pesky Königsberg. We score another reasonable salvo, but not the best. So why I'm not in a particular rush to push here at the moment is, there's only 2 ships, right? So he's gone. We are up 2 ships at the moment. We dodged the incoming shells from that Iron Duke, but I don't really want to push this flank because it's a slow ship. The Queen Elizabeth is definitely not quick. We're not going to fly around the map very easily. We do notice the destroyer behind us, the Visby. So there we go, we can see the torpedoes, thankfully spotted by RDD, although, in all fairness, I was already paying attention to him. We take a bit of a slap from, I believe that is the New Mexico that we fired our first salvo at. So there we go, we got a shot off
the New Mexico ship.
At the. See, Joe was confirming it was the New Mexico. We get a half decent salvo. I'm assuming our DD was going to do a bit more than lose all of his hit points to this Visby and then proceed to run away. But yeah, the T-22 gets absolutely wrecked. It's now 1 ship for us down, 3 for them. so we are in a relatively good position. We've got armor piercing loaded. Obviously, it's better to hit the destroyer with high explosive, but I'm not risking missing out on the opportunity to shoot him. Although unfortunately, that salvo does very little, and we do miss. But he's still spotted, so we're going to fire the front guns, and we score about 2,500 damage. But yeah, obviously. We're at the mercy of this Visby now. Myself and Joe out on this flank, and obviously we've still got to be careful because there is still an Iron Duke there. Joe, man, sort it out. Take some Benylin or something. Come on. Right, okay. So the DD, he's screwed off. He's hiding. I'm not directly spotted. So no, he's not directly looking at us. We're spotted by a plane. So I'm in no rush to try and take him on. And there we go. There's like another 9k salvo. It's fairly reasonable. We can see torps there hitting Joe, but they look like they came from the enemy's torpedo bombers. And things are still looking good for our team. They're not looking great. We are down to just one destroyer, whereas the enemy still have 2. But the other enemy destroyers, you can see on the mini-map, are spotted over the other side, so that's fine. We take a little chunk out of the New Mexico. I think we've been a little bit unlucky with our salvos on the battleships. But we are now hard spotted, so that Visby is definitely coming back. There's, as you can see, turning my ship, because that's exactly what we want to do. We definitely don't want to get caught sailing in a straight line. Oh, the Visby. Joe's like, oh no. Yep, that's right. The Visby has gone all the way down south to go after Joe. Let's hope Joe can make it out of this alive. Unfortunately not, and we get hit with some bombs from the enemy carrier. That's obviously Russian because of the type of bombs he fired, as you can probably tell. I guess it's the servo. In all fairness, I didn't pay that much attention, and we take a nasty hit from again from the New Mexico. But all the battleships seem to be having a bit of not the best luck with their salvos. At least RNG seems to be being fair with how it's dishing out the ricochets and stuff. And again, another very mediocre salvo on a fairly broadside Iron Duke. As the servo's coming back with its torpedoes. So we've got the servo coming straight at us. We know the Visby's off to our left, but we've been changing course, changing speed, and the Visby's torpedo salvo ends up not being anywhere close to us. And there's the Visby. He's closing in, so we are going to make some evasive manoeuvres. We know exactly where it is. It's a bit risky. We're turning broadside to New Mexico, and finally he scores a really solid hit on us. Yeah, that hurt. That was not great. And again, our return salvo was well pretty mediocre. Our secondaries start shooting this Visby. This Visby's just 3.5 kilometers away and closing in fast. He does decide to use his guns. Why wouldn't he? I 100% would. So obviously we can shoot now, but we wait. We're going to hold a little bit. We want to get a bit more angle, and then we'll get a dev strike on the Visby using armor piercing. Why was I able to dev strike the Visby with armor piercing in the Queen Elizabeth? Well, that's easy. The British use short fused armor piercing. It's very much the same on the cruisers, whereas we require far less armor to penetrate before the shells detonate. What this means is you're less likely to score some those juicy citadels, but what you definitely can do is kill cruisers more effectively and do a significantly higher amount of damage to destroyers. Now, as all this yammering has gone on, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but although we had a very nice ship lead, that's gone. That's gone. It's now a 3 versus 5. It's just myself, one cruiser, and our carrier. And yeah, things all of a sudden are not looking all too great. I don't fancy getting slapped again by this New Mexico. We're making evasive maneuvers because the South is dropping torps on us again. In all fairness, we're the biggest, slowest target left on our team, so you know, why wouldn't you? Like, it's 100% the move I would have made. We're down to just 7,000 hit points, as we do end up taking another really nasty hit from the New Mexico. So yeah, we're in a pretty difficult situation here. Our cruiser's way out there. Our cruiser's got absolutely no chance of intercepting their DD, which was just spotted not all too far away from our cap. Their carriers dropping bombs on everyone, and yeah, we've got a lot of ground to make up for you. This is, we're 100 points behind, or 90 points behind, and yeah, like this just isn't looking all too good. Our carrier, in all fairness, like how much he's focusing on that DD, because the DD is really close to him, against you know, whether he's actually doing his job and trying to get rid of the DD is another story. Seraph's really low. We fire one salvo because, yeah, there's a 30-second reload. If I can kill him with just one, then that means I don't have to wait to shoot at the cruiser. The Iron Duke gets a reasonable salvo, but obviously Queen Elizabeth, British ship, British heals. We've healed back a not insignificant damage, and those 3 we would have still been waiting to fire if we hadn't have only fired the one turret at the Seraph to get him killed. So we are spotted. It's not the Iron Duke. Here we go. Here comes the Nuremberg. He's decided to put his very big boy pants on. Obviously, yeah, you know, we're well within torpedo range here. We're gonna hold until he shows enough broadside that we should be able to get some citadels, and there we go. We get a dev strike, we kill him. The Iron Duke hits us with the high explosive, doing a not insignificant amount of damage. We very safely dodge the torpedoes fired by the Nuremberg, and now we've managed to pull it back to a 2v2. So the enemy DD is in the cap, he's in the smoke, so I'm 100% going to try and finish off this Iron Duke. There's absolutely no point in me trying to fire at, or waiting to fire at the kamikaze that's left, purely because the carrier's floating around there. He's not concealed. There we go. Right, there we go. Iron Duke is gone. Does hit us again. We're down to 5,000 hit points. We are in the process of using our very last heal, and it's just myself and the carrier against a DD that's in smoke and hiding. So there's a difficult decision to make here, which is which way do I point my guns? We're 15 kilometers out. If we got an opportunity to shoot at him, it's a long shot. And it's also how many guns we get to fire at him. So as you can see, the kamikaze is pushing to the left. So I'm starting to think, well, maybe we're going to get to see around this island. Maybe we're going to see the other side of it. We are closing the distance, which is obviously beneficial to us. And this is where the kamikaze makes the turn. He takes a torpedo from the carrier. I do want to say, like, this carrier, like, I don't know how he done throughout the rest of the game, but definitely towards the end, it, like, 100% instrumental. We could have very, very easily of have lost this without him focusing, focusing on the kamikaze at the end. Maybe it was a shame he didn't do it a bit earlier, but and there we go. Our shots are out. He slams on the brakes to dodge the torpedoes from our carrier, which also means he dodges my incoming salvo as well. And he's gone. He's gone. Just take the shot. Just take the shot. Just thank you very much. There we go. Kraken Unleashed. Dreadnought. High caliber. Couple of dev strikes. I believe there was two. Was there two dev? No. Was there two dev? There was two dev strikes in there. And yeah, so a clutch carry blind fire win for us there in the Azura Lane Queen Elizabeth. What I do hope you enjoyed that gameplay right there, and as always, until next time, take care.